Hi everybody, Craig here. Welcome to episode 1 of a new Age of Wonders 3 playthrough series. In this series, I'm going to be playing against 2 separate teams of 3 Emperor AI per team. Let's get into the actual setup of the game. So as I mentioned, I'm going to be playing against Emperor difficulty AI. I'm going to be playing on a large map size as we do have 7 players. I'm going to use land as our map type, and it's going to have a normal game flow. If we take a quick peek at the advanced settings here, so you'll notice that pretty much everything is default with the exception of our starting town being an outpost. Our geography is also going to just be default as well. I'm going to mention here, of course, that we have both the surface and the underground enabled for this playthrough series. I'm also going to have a third realm here that you actually can't see, but it will be enabled, and that is the Shadow Realm. And this is added by the Shadow Realm expansion mod pack, which I do have installed for this playthrough. If you're interested in any of the mods that I'm using for this series, I have them listed in the video description, and I'll have them listed there in every episode of the series. Okay, let's get to the actual setup here. So we're going to enable teams, and we're going to have one team of 3 and another team of 3. So there we go. There's me by myself. Team number 2 composed of 3 Emperor AI, and team number 3 composed of 3 additional Emperor AI. Let's check out the advanced rules here. So as I mentioned, we're going to have normal game speed. Starting resources will be standard. We're going to have starting skills set to few. Heroes have resurgence, never. And we're going to have defender strength set to strong. This is actually on the suggestion from a previous playthrough series from Ivan Engel. And Ivan pointed out that sometimes if you have the defender strength set to very strong, as I did in my Orc Warlord series, which is my most recent playthrough series, not counting this one, of course, that can actually hamstring the AI a little bit for a number of reasons. One of those is that sometimes the AI can struggle with actually taking over the resource structures that are really strongly defended, and that can actually almost give the player an advantage. In addition, there's less of an incentive to actually take the resource structures over because they're so well defended that it's almost not worth the reward you might get. And strong defenders is kind of a nice workaround because it provides a challenge still to try and take these structures out while still kind of being balanced enough that it's not overwhelmingly difficult for the AI, and also still makes it worth it for the rewards that you'll get as the player. So a big thank you to Ivan for that suggestion for this series. I should also mention here that map exploration, city founding, random heroes match the player race, high-speed tactical combat, and Empire quests will all be enabled, as you can see here. Cosmic happenings will be set to medium. We're going to have 4 heroes available in the game to recruit, and the max hero level is going to be set to 30. I should also mention here that the actual setup for this game as a 1 versus 3 versus 3 was actually suggested to me, again, a couple, in my most recent series, a few episodes ago. That was actually suggested by John Chernin, and he recommended trying out a 1 versus 3 versus 3, as in my Orc Warlord series, it was a free-for-all, and that ended up maybe not posing quite the challenge that I had sort of thought it might. So this was a great suggestion there from John. Okay, one big change from my previous series is that I'm not going to be customizing my AI opponents. In previous series, I've tried to kind of make things more interesting by having more of a balanced group of opponents. So, you know, having a bunch of different classes and race combinations. But for this one, I'm going to let it kind of just be random. And I've never done that before, so I'm hoping that that will make things a little more interesting for me, as I won't know what I'm getting into. I won't know my opponents until I actually encounter them in the game. Okay, I think we are ready. So let's launch the game here and pick our leader. So as you may have guessed from the title of the episode here, I am going to be playing as a Halfling Dreadnought. In this case, I'm going to be playing as Welby the Tinkerer. You can see Welby right here. Kind of looks like a happy little halfling. Now, the reason I've chosen this is actually there's a few reasons for it. One is that I've actually never played as halflings or as a dreadnought on my channel yet. So this will mark a first for both the race and class in this playthrough series. At least a first on my channel. The other reason is that actually this isn't a bad combination. Casper Eklund, in a previous episode in my last series, actually pointed out that the Halfling Dreadnought can actually be a fairly decent class, as the Halfling Dreadnought does get access to a modified version of the Golem known as a Party Robot that will actually, I think that's the name of it, and it will have Nourishing Meal and the capacity to, once it levels up, to actually gain Fireworks as a ranged attack. So that's kind of an interesting sort of quirk of the Halfling Dreadnought setup. In addition, the units of a Dreadnought, the machine units, can actually make up for some of the weakness that we see when we look at Halflings. So just to kind of go over them, the main line here, Halflings are physically weak. And you can see that here, we actually have -1 melee strength and 20% physical weakness. So they really are not, Halfling units are not really going to be meant to kind of get in there and brawl the way my Orc units were in my previous series. So that's something that the Dreadnought class can kind of work around, as many of the class units of the Dreadnought are going to not be strictly Halfling units, they're going to be machine units, and they can kind of then not have to worry about this physical weakness. In addition, there are some reasons that I've chosen here. You can see Adept of Fire, Master of Fire, as well as Expander. So this again goes back to Casper Eklund pointing out that Fire or Air Master, Adept and Master, are really, really good choices for the Dreadnought, because the Dreadnought does do a lot of fire damage with some of the spells and some of the units. So obviously having Fire, Adept, and Master will synergize well with that, as Adept allows you to make units weaker to fire, and Master of Fire has some spells that actually will affect all the units on the battlefield. So if we're more resistant to fire, which we are as a Dreadnought, that's going to actually benefit us tremendously. And then in terms of Air Master, that would be beneficial because you get upgrades to range damage. So that would help with all of our muskets and rifles that we have, as well as our cannon shots. So, let's just see if there was anything else I wanted to mention here. Ivan Engel also mentioned that Fire Master does work well with the Dreadnought, so this really just seemed like a really natural synergy and something I'm excited to try out. And then I wanted to pick Master as well, just to kind of improve our growth. So I think that sums up Welby, the Halfling Dreadnought, and we are going to get started. So as the world is generating here, I should point out that on the channel, I actually haven't played, as I said, a Dreadnought or Halfling yet, and I actually don't really have a lot of experience playing as Halflings or playing as the Dreadnought class, so this will be kind of a bit of a trial by fire, pun intended, as I have that fire specialization, but it will be kind of a trial by fire for me, in that I am less experienced with this combination, so I'm going to be kind of learning as I go. And hopefully things go well, but we'll have to see, as we are in pretty tough. Again, we have 2 different teams of 3 Emperor AI per team, so we're going to have our work cut out for us for sure. All right, let's see what kind of start we get here. Okay, Welby the Tinkerer, Halfling Dreadnought, your rise to power begins. Okay, so here's our starting throne city. Let's take a quick peek. Bittercrest, the throne of Welby. In terms of units, all right, we got a fairly decent start here. We started off with a Halfling Brew Brother, which is fantastic, as the Brew Brother does have Nourishing Meal, which is going to give us a method to heal our stacks and kind of keep them going. That's fantastic. And of course, we also were lucky to get a cavalry unit here, the Pony Rider, and then 2 farmers, which are kind of a pretty decent pikeman unit that also has a ranged attack in the form of Throw Chicken, which actually does quite a bit of damage, although it is only a once per battle ability. Has quite a lot of range on it too. And then we also have ourselves a Halfling Night Watch, which is basically just a tier 1 infantry unit. So definitely a pretty decent start here. The one issue that we're going to have, I think, as Halflings here is that we aren't really going to have much of a source of elemental damage. All of these units do physical, as you can see here. So if we go across, everybody's doing physical damage, which is kind of the same situation we found ourselves in when I was playing as the Orc Warlord in my previous series. I started off that game and I had that same kind of problem where I only had physical damage, and that's going to become quite challenging as we go up against some of these elemental units that have physical protection, as you can see. So let's take a peek at what hero we've had offer to join us. We've had Leo Sunguard, a level 1 warlord who wants to join our forces for 100 gold. Now, as much as I do like warlords, I am kind of tempted to actually try out getting a different hero. And the reason for this is because I would really like to have a hero like a Theocrat or a sorcerer who does elemental damage at this point. I think that would make things a lot easier for me at this point in the game. That being said, a warlord definitely is not a bad choice, I don't think. Let's just see what talents our warlord has. Ooh, he does have a sun shield. That's actually pretty cool. But, ooh, and look at this. 60% fire protection as a result of that sun shield. It's pretty tempting to take him because of that sun shield upgrade. That's fantastic. So I assume he's starting off with that. Yeah, so it's inherent. I was going to say that I was wondering if that was due to an item, but it might just be that he actually has that as an inherent ability. Oh, that's a tough call. You know what? This is probably going to maybe bite me in the butt, but I am going to take Leo. Sun Guard, appropriate. His name is quite appropriate. Again, it would be nice to have a hero that can do elemental damage, but I think we'll go with this. Just because of that Sun Guard upgrade, that's quite powerful. Ooh, and we started off with the ability to summon spy drones. That's actually quite nice for us here. So we might start working on that quite shortly here. We also have Overload. Infuses the gears of target machine with mana, causing it to operate faster and with more power. Target machine deals plus 10 damage until end of combat, but may be stunned for 2 turns after attacking. So it's kind of like overclocking, I guess. Makes sense, Overload. Okay. Well, oh, and let's actually take a quick peek here at our hero's spell casting abilities here. Okay. Oh, fantastic. This is going to make a huge difference for us. We have Phoenix Warrior as a spell right off the bat. That is excellent. That's going to make our lives a lot easier, as now we're going to actually be able to use a unit as kind of a sacrificial lamb, have them go up, take a bunch of damage for us, and then we're going to be able to still have that unit be resurrected, assuming we win the battle. So that is a huge, huge benefit for us, and that makes me a lot happier that I actually chose Leo as the hero. Okay, so let's just take a look at what our research options are here starting off. Okay, so we could jump right away to start working on engineers, which would be nice, as the blunderbuss and flashbang abilities do have some elemental damage on them. That would actually help us out a fair bit, I think. Great blacksmith here. Armored units cost less gold to produce. That's just an empire upgrade. Mana fuel cells. Develop the technology to store mana as an energy source that can be used to speed up production. Target-friendly city gains a plus 20 production bonus. Spell does not affect vassal cities. This is a fantastic upgrade, and this is probably what I'm going to spend my first couple of turns researching here, I think. Just because that production bonus is going to benefit us tremendously. So I think that's where I'm going to start. But first, let's actually engage in some battles here. So, obviously, we're going to want to clear out this mana node, and we are going to be able to convert it into a fire node to get some extra mana and knowledge income once it's in our domain. So let's see kind of how we want to do this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring Welby, the Brew Brother, the Pony Rider, both farmers along for the ride here. And then I am going to bring Leo as well into the group and have him do a little bit of work here. So now let's engage the battle with Leo. Now we should be okay, as these wisps are going to be annoying to deal with, but hopefully not too much of an issue. Of course, they are going to phase in behind and probably beat the heck out of our heroes or something like that. The unit that's probably the most vulnerable is going to be the Brew Brother, I think. And that's just because they do have a tendency to kind of want to go for these support units. So I want to make sure that my Brew Brother isn't in substantial danger. Now, I also have to remember that recharging mana currents is going to be active, so if I am going to try and kill any of these wisps, I'm going to have to kind of try to kill them outright, as they might get healed otherwise. So, if we step up with Leo, we can actually kill off one of them, I think, here, due to a combination of ranged attacks. There's a throw chicken, and then we can step up here. We do have to be careful. I don't want my farmers getting killed off either. Okay, so now we will move our rider in like this. Fantastic. Now, Welby does have his fire musket, so I think I might move Welby kind of over here. Sort of have him be kind of by himself a little bit, like this. I'm actually kind of hoping they go for Welby or my other hero, my Warlord here. Okay, and they are going for the Warlord, as long as they don't kill him. Okay, fantastic. The reason I say that is because the heroes do heal quite quickly, so I'm less concerned about my hero taking a ton of extra damage. Obviously, I still have to be very careful, as I don't want my hero to die. And these wisps have a tendency to stun units that attack them, so we are going to have to be careful. So we'll do a nice musket shot there, and then we should... Ooh, not quite. I was going to say we should be able to move in and get the kill. Let's try for it here with a flank. Fantastic, okay. Now... Oh, geez, we're going to have to move around here, get a charge. Let's hope we can get the kill. Fantastic. Okay, we did get stunned, but we managed to get the kill there without too much issue. Okay, so now we're going to try and kill this wisp here. Okay, and we're actually... I think we can step off with Leo. Yeah, we can. We can do a nice shot here. Fantastic. And then we should be able to get the finish with our farmer. Excellent. Okay. So we did take a little bit of damage, but nothing we can't handle. Very, very nice. Okay. So now we do have a gold mine down here, guarded by some orcs, 2 black knights, an impaler, and a spearman. So thankfully we do have pikemen ready to handle those black knights, I think, which will be good. Now, the question is, do I want to do a little bit of scouting with some of my other units? And I think the answer is going to be yes. So perhaps we take our Night Watch, grab the extra mana over here. And then we could also take our Pony Rider over here and go and maybe grab this gold. The only issue... So, I think we're in okay shape. I think we'll be able to handle this battle without too much issue. And again, we can use Phoenix Warrior to perhaps make one of our units a little bit... we don't have to worry so much about them taking damage and potentially dying. So it looks like we have some production resources guarded by some goblins over here, a big beetle, a skewer, and 2 marauders. We've also got another mana node up there and a gold mine over here. So we've got lots of structures to clear out. I also do kind of like that we are right in the corner of the map here, as we at least kind of have our back to the wall a little bit. So we're one less direction that things can come at us from, I guess. We will have to see if there's any spawning structures around our city, as they always... There's usually at least one that's going to harass our city. You know, this actually is a pretty tough battle, but I think if we use our spells, we'll be okay. So let's engage it. And I think we're going to use Phoenix Warrior here. Now the question is, which unit do I want to apply that to? Because that is going to only be usable on one unit. Now we could use it on our Pony Rider. Could use it on one of our farmers, I suppose. We also have the ability to use our Brew Brother to drop a nice big heal. And I am tempted to use it on Leo. The only issue is that I don't think I'm going to get Leo really involved in the combat too much. So it would almost make more sense to just throw it on, like, the farmer, for example, and have the farmer kind of go up and just tank a lot of what comes at him. And then we could also double up and throw a Phoenix Warrior on him just in case he gets in any big trouble. So, let's see. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to move the farmer like this. We're going to throw Nourishing Meal on him. There, now he's got a lot of health. He's got 62 health. It's quite the quite the beast at this point. So Leo, we're just going to back up because, again, he's in kind of rough shape. We are going to use Phoenix Warrior, and we're going to throw it on this farmer just in case, because, again, he is going to be kind of up front. And we're going to have this farmer move up here. Not quite in range to throw our chickens just yet. Our Pony Rider can kind of hang out. We have to keep in mind that these Black Knights actually do have polearm, which means that if our Pony Rider gets involved with them, he's going to be... It's going to be tough for him because he'll be at a disadvantage. I think we're good. So we'll end our turn there. Again, we have to be very careful in these early battles. We really don't want to make any big mistakes and lose anybody. So let's see if we go up here. Can we... Not quite in range to start throwing our chickens just yet. And you know what? I think I'm going to throw it at the Black Knight. There we go. And actually do another one. There we go. And then our Brew Brother can step right up here. And I think Leo can step up just a touch as well. So unfortunately with Nourishing Meal, the only kind of issue is that it is only a once per battle. Again, a lot of healing abilities are only once per battle with the exception of healing itself, which is does recharge over time. So our Halfling Farmer here is, again, in a good position to try and tank some of this damage here. Again, it would be nice to try and kind of funnel these units around. So what I might actually do, so they can't quite come around behind, which is good. We can do a little bit of damage here. We're still safe. So I think what I'm going to do is move Welby in like this. Now, I suppose we could take advantage of our big shot here. We just have to be very, very careful. So the Impaler isn't going to give us any issue. What I'm most concerned about, though, is this. The Black Knight can just absolutely devastate our Pony Rider here, which we really don't want. So we're not able to cast any additional spells here, so that's not really going to be of any help. So I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to move Welby. Yeah, we're going to move Welby back here like this. And I think we're going to save our musket. Just trying to decide. You know what? Let's use it up because it will. There is a cooldown on it. So this farmer can hang out. This farmer, I'm concerned. I'm worried that he might get killed. The only thing is that if he does get attacked, it's only going to be from one angle there. So because the unit can only come in right there. And then our Pony Rider, I think we're going to put like this. Oof, that's pretty devastating. Let's see if we're in defense mode. How much of a difference? Ay, that's still not great. So maybe we'll step back like this. That does put this farmer at risk, but I think they're going to move in and engage. I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see here. I just have to be very, very careful. Again, it might seem kind of like, why am I taking all this time with this? But this is a very, very precarious situation for me. Okay, that's kind of what I was expecting, I guess. But that actually worked out really well for us. So this unit did come around, take the attack of opportunity. You saw how much damage it did to my Pony Rider, but it ended up getting killed. So we're in really, really good shape now. So now we can kill off the Black Knight here with our Brew Brother. Fantastic. Okay, now we're in much, much better shape. Okay, so now we just have to watch out for the Impaler and our Pony Rider here. So I'm going to just throw myself in defense mode. Let them move in towards me again here. I suspect we're going to take another Javelin throw, but that's okay. Okay, fantastic. Our unit with Resurgence is taking some hits, but that's just fine. Okay, let's see if we can maybe move up with our ranged unit here and do a little bit more. Well, we'll have to... Ooh, you know what? Actually, we can probably go all the way around with Leo. We do have to be careful because we don't want this unit to move in and wail on us with anything. I just want to turn them. That's the goal there. So we turn them. And then can we get the flank hit here? Yes, we can. And then with this unit, we could actually move in like this. Kind of lock up that spearman. Of course, the spearman does have sprint. That's the one issue there. Ooh, you know, I might have kind of blundered this just a touch. Thankfully, we have Welby with his... Yeah, we're going to bring Welby in and use our big shot here. There we go. Okay, now we're in okay shape. I just had to make sure we got out of that without any major issue. So, thankfully, although they are called spearmen, they actually do not have pole arms. So that's going to make this easier for me with my cavalry to come in and potentially do some work here. We have also my other pikemen. That physical weakness really is kind of an issue for us, though, as we really are not that tough. Now, the other issue, of course, is that the spearman does have sprint, so... You know, it might actually be worth just suiciding this unit. Again, it does have resurgence, so maybe we just do this. Yeah. I mean, again, we never want units to die, but in that instance, not so bad. And we could probably get the finish here. Just trying to kind of decide. Yeah, let's get it. Let's move in there and get the finish. And then we can finish off with our farmer. Okay, excellent. So we did take some damage, but we came out of that relatively unscathed there in our unit. Our farmer that we cast that spell on has come back. No real worse for wear. We did take some punishment, though, so we'll have to heal up for a turn or two before we engage in any additional battles, but that's okay. I suspect we're going to be heading over this way anyway, so we'll grab that mana. So that was actually a pretty solid outcome for us there. So now I think I want to send this Night Watch north. I was thinking about maybe going into the woods here to go exploring in that direction, but I think it would probably be better to go north as... Oh, yeah, and there's some refugees, so we can grab some extra population for our city. In terms of casting spells, let's start using a spy drone. We can use that to do some early game scouting, perhaps, or to just kind of augment one of our stacks here if necessary. In terms of what to build, I would like to get a builder's hall going to improve our production capabilities. Okay. I think that's pretty much it for this turn. I am going to start working on mana fuel cells because that extra production income is, I think, going to make actually a fairly substantial difference for us once we can throw it on our throne city there. So we'll just go through our objectives here. Of course, we have to kill all our rival empires, or excuse me, defeat all our rival empires. So the rival leaders must be slain and their throne cities captured. Allied victory, so obviously you can win while maintaining alliances. Doesn't matter for me, but for the AI, that means the teams can win as a group. Protect your leader and throne city, of course, so we can't let our leader die and our throne city be taken at the same time, as that would be quite devastating. So there's a gold mine here and some production resources. Let's go a little bit north and see what else we find. We've actually got some really nice natural landscape here, so some mountains, lots of forest. It's not that easy to get at our throne city. There's only a few pathways in, and that's actually going to be kind of nice for if we have to defend our throne. So I'm quite happy with this setup so far. So let's end our turn there. Pretty solid first turn, I think. It would be quite nice to level up my my leader here, who's a Dreadnought, and then I'll eventually be able to get a healing ability. I think it's guarded by flame, if I remember correctly. And although I think it only heals 10 health, still nice as it would help to kind of maintain a stack. And also, of course, it provides some fire resistance when you buff a unit with it. So it would be nice to have a little extra healing capability. In addition, I believe one of the earliest upgrades I get access to is Forge Aprons, which provides basically just some flat fire resistance for my stack, which will be nice if we end up fighting any units that do fire damage. And then, like I said, eventually some of my spells do fire damage as well. Okay, so this is now going to be our second turn here. So let's take our Night Guard, excuse me, our Night Watch, move up and grab that extra population, which is very nice to have. Looks like we've got ourselves a magma forge and a trading post here, so we're going to probably want to go explore that a little bit. And here we go. Here's some units that do fire damage, so once we're a little more leveled up and we can tolerate a little bit more of that fire damage, that's actually going to be quite nice. And it looks like, let's zoom in, yep. There you can see a spawning structure that spawns scoundrels. So we're going to want to clear that out fairly soon, as that's going to obviously be a threat to us. Don't want units spawning and harassing our cities. Okay, so there's our first halfling city. We're probably going to go try and make friends with it. So let's grab this unit here, our main stack, and we will start kind of moving over this way. I suppose we actually could just head up here and attack these wisps. That might not be such a bad idea. The only issue is we've got some units that are maybe not in the greatest of condition. I don't want the wisps jumping in and killing them. Suppose we could do that, because we're not going to be able to get there in a single turn anyway. So let's head up there and see if we can take this on. Ooh, you know, I could let them run. I think I'm going to do No Mercy. I do want the experience, so I'm going to do this. So, obviously, I'm going to try and use Nourishing Meal here on somebody to bolster the health of my units a little bit. I think the farmer is probably in greater risk of death, so I am going to pop a Nourishing Meal on the farmer there. Turn him around. Get him to hang out. Our Pony Rider can basically just hang out back there. Again, I'm kind of anticipating that the Wisps are going to go for my heroes, who are basically almost at full health at this point. So let's see. Can we hit? We can hit the Wisp with our attack, so let's do that. Again, we have to remember that Recharging Mana Currents is active, so if we're going to do this, we're going to have to kill the unit. Let's jump right up here and try and get the kill. Not quite. So then we can move on in here. And we can get the kill with Leo. Unfortunately, my heroes are going to be kind of at risk here. I think they'll be fine. But let's just see what happens. Okay, going after my farmers. Ooh, doing a lot of damage there. Big, big damage to my farmers, so... Okay, let's flank this Wisp here. Throw some meat cleavers at him. What kind of damage can we do? Yeah, we can get the kill outright with our throw chicken. Fantastic. And then Leo can actually just kind of move over here like this. Do a crossbow shot to turn the Wisp around. And then we should be able to just move in here and get the flank shot with Welby. So let's do that. Yeah, let's just get the kill right there. Fantastic. Little extra experience there. Level up with one of our farmers. Quite nice. Let's just double check here. So when these farmers level up, do they gain anything really? So at elite level, at gold medal, they do get armor piercing, which is kind of cool. Aside from that, it's just kind of general stat bonuses. What about our Brew Brother? Let's see what he gets as he levels up. Oh, he does end up with minor bard skills. That's kind of cool at elite level. And at veteran, he gets Dispel Magic, which is quite useful. So that's pretty solid. Pony Rider, let's see. Alright, nothing too crazy. Just kind of general stat boosts, which is good. Oh, at elite, though, it does get Strong Will, which is actually really, really powerful, as that provides full spirit protection and mind control immunity. So, pretty decent. Okay, so that takes care of that mana node. So I think now we're going to want to head over here, grab the production resources, clear out this gold mine, and try and maybe get up to this little halfling city. I suppose the other way we could go is maybe up through here. Try and make contact that way. You know what? Let's even send our... We can actually maybe send our Pony Rider up there to start making contact in that direction. Now, as for our spy drone, I'm thinking, you know, actually, maybe that's the plan. Maybe we summon the spy drone and have the spy drone go and make contact. Yeah, there we go. So let's just truck on up this way. Wow, look at the domain on this particular city. The city of Hard Thistle. I would like to make friends with them, I think. But I'm also hoping that maybe they'll give me a quest that I can do rather than having to pay. So I think we'll wait and hope for that. In the meantime, with this unit, I can go and do some additional scouting. Maybe try and find a second city to make contact with. Okay, so that's going to do it for that turn. We actually have quite a lot of mana. Obviously not a ton of mana income at the moment. But we could summon one more spy drone here. I don't think that would be too ridiculous. So let's do it. Even if we're running a little bit of a mana deficit for a few turns, once the city grows, we're going to get this mana node, and I think we'll be just fine. So we just have to keep in mind, if we're going to cast any spells with either of our heroes, that's going to also eat into our mana pool. Well, so far, so good, I would say. Okay, and there we go. The City of Hard Thistle has a quest available. Let's see. Tell me more about the quest. End the terror at the mine. So, ooh, Dread Spider Queen. So that's a tier 3 unit. We are going to have to be careful. We can get a peace treaty and a brew brother, which would be awesome. So let's do that. We are going to accept that quest. We're going to send our main stack over there to try and deal with that. I'm assuming we have 10 turns to handle that quest. Yes. So we do have 10 turns, so we can start working on that right now, which is good. And with we can do a little bit more scouting here with our drone. This is quite promising. If I stick to the... Ooh, and there's another city here. Probably a goblin city, judging from the blighted. Maybe not, though. I guess we'll have to go and see. But if I stick to the water, that should prevent roaming units from bothering my drone at least a little bit. And this guy, I'm probably going to want to bring back here just so that I have something guarding the city. On turn 5, we're going to start having units popping up. Geez, you know, it would almost be... it might be wise to actually send my stack over, now that I think about it, to send my stack over to deal with this spawning structure first. And then maybe head back over here to help out with this quest. Because I really don't want this just sitting there to kind of threaten my city. It's a tough call, you know. And again, we really don't have enough power, enough strength at this point to really have 2 stacks. Yeah, we're not strong enough at this point, I don't think. I mean, we could split off Leo, maybe one of the farmers, and this unit and try, but I don't see that going well. That being said, if we use our spy drone, we could bring this spy drone back, actually, in the next turn or two to come and help out. Maybe we could get away with it. You always have to remember, though, in this battle, there's that little kind of gate. They have like a little wall kind of protecting them. Oh, this is a tough decision. Because obviously, if I divert over there, that's going to take, you know, 1 turn. That's this turn and next turn to do the battle. Another 2 turns to come back. That's almost 5 turns. You know, that's going to eat into our ability to get over here. I suppose we could just kind of create some units to maybe go and deal with this. So, oh, I hate to do it. I really do hate to do it. But I think we're just going to keep moving this way. Oh, this is one of those decisions that might come back to kind of bite me in the butt. But I think we're going to go over here and deal with this stuff. What I'm hoping is that this will connect around to where this road is, rather than trying to go up this way and kind of quickly research the ability to go across water. Oh, yeah, again, this might be a bad decision, but I guess only time will tell. And we're going to bring this guy back to guard the city, and as well, our pony rider is going to be part of the stack that we're going to create to go and take that out. Some of these structures are actually quite well defended here, you can see. This one actually has 6 units defending it. Alright, let's try for these production resources here. We're going to be up against a tier 3 unit, so we do have to be kind of careful. Thankfully, we have some pikemen to deal with the cavalry. Yeah, I will say, playing as halflings is definitely kind of a challenge due to that physical weakness. That really does seem to kind of be the major hiccup here for me. All right, let's drop a nourishing meal there. At least give our farmers a bit of a fighting chance. Light up that big beetle. Resisted the movement decrease there, which is kind of unfortunate. I was sort of hoping that would impact the big beetle there. Again, only 5% chance, so relatively low odds, I suppose. Now, let's see what... They can come all the way in here with this big beetle. So perhaps maybe we move our pony rider over like this. As for Welby and Leo, I think we'll be okay if we kind of do this. Yeah, nobody else can make it in to attack me. So it's just going to be this big beetle who's going to do some fairly hefty damage here. Let's see what kind of damage can he... Ooh, yeah. Really, really unpleasant amount of damage there coming at me. What if we do this? So then he can only go after my farmers, which... Fortunately, my farmers are going to take quite a lot of damage, as neither of them are in defense mode. Let's do it. I really hope I don't lose the one. Fantastic. My farmers got a critical hit, which made a big difference there. All right, so now we'll be able to kill off the big beetle here. We can use our Brew Brother to do that, I suppose. Actually, we could even just use our farmer to do that. That might actually be the better option here. Fantastic. Okay. Now let's use our Brew Brother to inflict some punishment here on the Marauder. Not a ton, but we can do a little bit. Maybe we step up, do a little more. Yeah, there we go. Fantastic. Pretty substantial amount of damage there. We can charge in and attack the Marauder here. We should be able to get the kill. Very nice. We did get a lucky that popped to kind of help us out just a touch. Now, obviously, I'm going to want to deal with the skewer because I don't want my heroes getting skewered, as it were. So let's do some big damage there. Move in and do some additional big damage here and get the kill. Fantastic. And then our farmer should be able to, in defense mode, deal with the attacks coming from the Marauder. It's not going to be pleasant, but we're going to be able to handle it. There we go. Again, we did take some damage, but we are still okay. Now, Welby is very close to a level up, so it would be great to try and get that here. So let's go in. Excellent. Okay, now let's see what we got. Blast Furnace or a Shrine? So a Blast Furnace, the city generates an additional +5 production, and that would also unlock production of class-specific units. That's like the second structure for class-specific units. I was almost tempted to go with the Shrine just for the mana income, but I think I will take the Blast Furnace because this is a more expensive structure. And that extra little production boost isn't so bad. So there we go. That's quite nice. Okay. And we do have this spy drone. Again, the spy drones are basically capable of just moving in and blowing up as an ability. Let's just take a quick peek at the spy drone itself here. So it has a melee strike. It has explosive death. Of course, it can't regenerate because it's a machine. It does have blight and spirit protection. So, yeah, so when it dies, it will explode in a big fiery ball of death, doing damage to everyone around. So you don't want to be near it when it dies. You know, this is actually going to be a pretty tough battle. We've got 2 butchers here. We may have to use our Phoenix warrior there in this battle. We'll have to see. So one of our farmers is going to have to kind of be the vanguard unit once again. But of course, both our farmers are in quite rough shape, as it were. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to step up like this. We're going to move Welby back. We're going to move our Brew Brother in. We're going to throw Nourishing Meal on there. Step back over here. Light up one of these butchers, I guess, because we can. We will even take a step back. All right, let's attack that butcher. Nice critical hit. Very good. So yeah, we've got 3 different pikeman units who are going to pose some problem for us. So what we're going to do, we're going to use Leo. We're going to cast Phoenix Warrior on the farmer. Now we're going to keep our Pony Rider back here. And this farmer, I suppose, could throw. Although we are kind of in range of getting hit. So I think we'll just camp out in defense mode instead. This is actually going to be a fairly difficult battle for me here with the, you know, try not to lose anybody, of course. That farmer's basically going to be toast here. Now, thankfully, our Brew Brothers do a lot of damage, as you can see right here. So let's inflict some serious punishment. Fantastic. And then we can get the kill with our farmer. Excellent. Now, the only major issue that's going to be kind of a problem for us here is this half-breed, who's going to be able to come in and attack our Brew Brothers, which would be quite unfortunate for us. We also have, obviously, the Skewer over here. Now, this is where I think we're going to have to take advantage of our musket ability. So let's move over like this and blast them with the musket. Excellent. And then we will kind of do the same thing. I think we'll kind of come right over here. Do a nice big crossbow shot. Excellent. Ooh, and we're unfortunately they have 1 damage left. Oh, that's such a shame. I think what we will do, we'll keep this farmer back. I'm just trying to decide how best to protect my units here. Again, I could bring this unit in. My only concern then is that the butcher... Oh, you know what? I didn't even think about this. So the butcher's going to be able to come in there and attack my hero, which is not good. Let's see how much damage. Oof, a lot. We're going to take quite a bit here. That was actually a mistake on my part. I should have moved Leo to here rather than right there. That was a mistake. And I don't think... Yeah, we've already used both our heroes, so we don't have a spell that's going to get us out of this situation, unfortunately. Yeah, alright, well... Oh, I don't want to lose this Pony Rider, but I think I might almost have to protect my heroes. Oh, I'm going to regret this. Oh, man, we took a beating there. Yeah, so this Pony Rider's basically screwed. I mean, he might... Well, it won't kill him unless it's a critical. But, yeah, that's really not good. Oh, I'm gritting my teeth on this one. Alright, and this farmer's going to have to just kind of come on back. Alright, let's see how this goes. Oh. Okay, thank goodness the butcher went there. Okay. That worked out really well for us, actually. Again, I was pretty nervous there. I think we can just straight up kill the butcher here. Should actually be able to get in behind and do a flank attack here. And then straight up just get the kill. That would leave the half-breed. Might actually be smarter to maybe just deal with the half-breed here. Yeah, there we go. And then... Okay, let's see. What do we still have? So we can move... Yeah, we can do this. We get the kill. We should be able to. Alright, that should be fine. Okay, awesome. So now we can move like this with Leo. Do a flank shot there. And then move in and get the kill with Welby. Excellent. And Welby got a level up, which is great. Alright, so let's upgrade Welby. Okay, first level up here. Lightning Rod Banner would actually be great if we're going to fight any more of those mana nodes. That would actually help us out tremendously. Imperial Authority. All units in the hero's army gain 200 morale, so we just have higher critical chance. Our units are already quite happy. As you can see here, very, very high. So I think I'm actually going to hold off on that one. I think I'm going to go Lightning Rod Banner first because, again, if we're going to fight any more elemental units, it's nice to have that little bit of extra protection from the shock damage. And we did get a level up with Leo as well, which is going to make, I think, a big difference for us. So eventually I'm going to have Leo as his own hero leading a stack. But for now, he's going to still be with Welby. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade Warfare so he has additional spellcasting capability. And now he should actually be able to cast the Phoenix Warrior twice. So now we have the capability to do that on 2 different units. Okay. So that does it for our stack here. Now we have to decide, what do we do with our Spy Drone? And what do we do with our Pony Rider? Again, I think what I'm going to do is build up a little unit to go and try and clear out the spawning structure here. So I can use this Spy Drone, this Pony Rider, this Night Watch, and maybe my second Spy Drone, who I can do a little bit of scouting with in the meantime. Go take a peek at what's down here. Okay, so we've got a number of structures over here as well. Now, as for our Pony Rider here, suppose we could maybe do a little bit more scouting here. It's going to be another turn or two before we actually decide to try and turn our little army around. So I guess we'll just do a touch more scouting in the meantime. And we can start summoning another Spy Drone. Again, pretty soon our city's going to be big enough to have this mana node be a part of it. Okay. That's going to do it for our turn. So again, we're going to have to be careful as units are going to start spawning here very shortly. Like roaming units, I should say. So again, we're going to bring some of these units here back to our base. So Spy Drone, for example, is going to come on back. This unit's going to come back to our throne. We're going to bring this Spy Drone kind of around here, maybe in a big loop. We can make contact with this city up here on our way kind of back down. At least find out what the city is. The mana fuel cells is now researched, so we can actually, maybe we might even switch what we're working on and have that prioritized for getting on our city here. We'll have to decide about that. So we're going to bring our units back, though, and just kind of form up our squad here in our throne. And then we're going to use this little group to put in some work here, I think. Okay, so this is a hostile goblin city. So that's actually great. That means we can probably just kind of bring our stack. Once we move up and deal with this, maybe we do a big loop and we come all the way over and try and aggressively take the city over once we're a bit stronger. Now, in the meantime, let's try and get this Spy Drone. We do want to be careful because obviously if we get too close to this and it spawns units, they're going to try and kill our Spy Drone. So if we stay in the mountains, we should be a little safer. And then we're going to group these units up here. Can even send this one off kind of like this. And we're going to have these units basically charge over and try and handle this. Might be pretty tough. We might need another unit to help, but okay, so now with our main stack, we could probably go deal with all of this nonsense here. Dread Spider Baby, couple of Marauders, a Warg, and some Boars. So nothing in particular that's very scary, but just a lot of units. So let's head on over. Again, biggest issue here is just health. We need to heal up more. So again, more reason for me to try and level up Welby so I can eventually get Guarded by Flame for some extra health. Alright, so I think we're going to drop the heal on this farmer. So Nourishing Meals going up. There it is. So this farmer's now back to manageable health. light up that pesky little dread spider there. Now, in terms of this attack, I don't think it has the range to hit it from there. Now, our Pony Rider can kind of move up. We may actually have to use our little strategy here of, once again, using our spell. The only issue is, of course, every time we do this, we're running lower and lower on mana. But, I mean, we still got 184. I think we'll be okay. So if we do throw this on someone, I suppose we could throw it on our Pony Rider maybe this time. There are no pikeman units, so that actually might not be such a bad plan. So maybe we throw it on the Pony Rider and use our Pony Rider as kind of our main vanguard in this particular battle. I really do like that. I really do like having the Phoenix Warrior there, because it just gives you kind of some extra reassurance that you're not... that if that unit goes down, it's not all over. And you know what? I may even use it again here. I know it's... I just said, I probably shouldn't cast that many spells, but if I use it here, I can also throw it on the farmer, and then he's kind of protected as well. So I think we'll do that. So let's use Phoenix Warrior here on this farmer. We can send him up right up in here like this. Put him in defense mode, and then he can just kind of hang out. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get the kill on anything as it currently stands. Thankfully, none of those units can make it around. I would really like to kill off the Dread Spider Baby just because of its webbing ability. Yeah, this isn't going to get the kill on anyone in particular, so... we do have to be careful. This farmer is, again, not in great shape, so maybe we back up a little bit. Can attack the Spider Baby. And then perhaps even move Welby up like this. And, hopefully we get the finish. Yes, okay. We just needed a decent roll there, and we were good. We could go for the kill on the boar. We'd be very, very close. We'd have to get some good rolls, though, of course. Well, actually, we'd have to get really good rolls. We'd have to get 15 and 16, basically. Or a 14 and a 16. So, yeah, probably not. I think I'm just going to go defense here. The biggest issue is Welby's kind of in not the greatest spot. These units aren't any real risk to me. And the warg is probably going to get killed trying to go around. So I think we'll be okay. There come those boars. Yeah, alright, we're fine. Alright, so they ganged up to kill off my farmer, who thankfully had Resurgence on, so it's not a big issue for me. Okay. The boar, we could kill off the warg, which is probably smart. Do have to keep in mind that this is going to be hitting us as well. So perhaps maybe we could walk up here, and then we're a little bit further away, actually, which might be good. All right, now let's decide here. Who else can we kill off? So we can bring Leo in to kill the boar, which would be great. And then we could probably kill everything maybe but that Marauder would probably be the only thing left. Just trying to decide what would be the best kind of course of action here. So yeah, if we bring Leo up, we can do this. Fantastic. Warg does have first strike, which is kind of annoying. So how about we step up like this, kill the warg. And then we can actually use our Pony Riders here to go in for the Marauders, which might not be such a bad idea. We could do this, actually. Flank the boar. Yeah, I like this. We'll flank the boar. Now, we've given up the flank here, but that's okay because this unit has Resurgence, so if it goes down, it's not a big deal. And then we can get the kill with Welby. Okay, fantastic. And now this farmer can just kind of hang back. There we go. And our Pony Riders held their own. Okay, so now we just need to make sure we turn this unit around. So let's kind of come on back like this. Move in here. Do a nice big charge attack. Oof. Devastating there. And then we can step off. Throw our cleavers. Then... Ooh, you know what? We can actually just step right up here and blast the heck out of these Marauders. Fantastic. So we did take a bit of a beating there. Our units are kind of in rough shape at this point. So we may have to take a couple of turns to just kind of recuperate a little bit. But putting in good work, that's for sure. So this is probably above our pay grade at the moment. We've got a Node Serpent, Lesser Earth Elemental. I think this is probably a little bit too dangerous at the moment, so we're going to probably just ignore that. Holy, and look at this. We've got all kinds of nasty structures here. Okay, and we do have it appears that we do have a way up. So we've got a dungeon, Raven's Keep. That's all above our pay grade, as I mentioned at the moment. So we'll head up this way, and hopefully that's going to get us closer to the city there, and we can go and try and do that quest. Meanwhile, we've got our throne here. We're going to have this Builder's Hall ready. We could actually even pop out an Adventurer or something if we need another unit real quick. We're going to have this mana node very shortly, so that will fix our rapidly decreasing mana pool. Yeah, I think we're in pretty good shape at the moment. So let's pick our research here. So we finished mana fuel cells last time. So let's see. Suppress nature. Units in cities don't suffer from terrain penalties. That's kind of cool. Strategic spell. Importantly, though, does not affect vassal cities. Terraformer, that's going to be useful down the road. You know, I really wouldn't mind having engineers kind of going at this point. Might also be nice to get basic seafaring here pretty quickly because obviously we've got that river that's kind of in the way of that city. But we're not going to be crossing that just yet. Domain of the Sun. Target friendly city and units stationed within that city's domain now like tropical and volcanic terrain. Machine undead and creatures of magic origin are not affected. So that would actually offset the volcanic terrain is something that I believe the halflings don't like, so that would actually be kind of nice. But we're not in a big hurry for that. I think what we'll do here is we will go for our engineer units here. I think that's going to be the next thing we want. Okay. And that's going to do it for our turn. So I think we're going to call it an episode right here. Really good start to this game. I'm quite happy with how things are going. Again, we still have absolutely no idea what we are up against. This is completely random, so we're going to have to wait to see. But yeah, reasonable start. We did a little bit of scouting. Made some contact with a halfling city. We're doing that quest, of course. We've got this hostile goblin city that eventually would be on the menu. We're building up kind of a hodgepodge team to maybe try and deal with this spawning structure here. And yeah, things are going pretty well, so we'll just zoom out and take kind of a look here. I do like the yellow. It shows up nicely on the map. So here's our throne city of Bittercrest, and we're going to try and eventually gain Hard Thistle as maybe a vassal. So yeah. So let's save this game. We're going to call this one Halfling Dreadnought 1v3v3 number 1. Okay, well, that's going to do it for episode 1. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.